The angels have a very clear message for you this month, and it's this. Do not hold the vibration of fear. Hold the vibration of love. Do not hold the vibration of hate. Hold the vibration of peace. I wanted to let you know that we'll be praying more together here on this podcast. In my lifetime, I've witnessed personally miracles that occur when people come together and use their free will to pray. The angels say it shifts energy, creates an opening for healing, and brings positive change. Please join me at the end of today's episode and every episode this month to pray for and envision peace on earth. We'll also be praying together over on my Instagram page if you want to join us at Angel Podcast. Now here's today's episode. Hello, beautiful souls. We're back with a new episode of Angels and Awakening. I'm your host and author, Julie Jancius, and today we're here with a very, very special guest. She was on earlier this week on Monday. Her name is Jessie Kanzer, and she's the author of Don't Just Sit There, Do Nothing. Jessie, welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Julie.
Of course. So you're here today for a different reason. You're going to talk about your angel stories, which are just stories of times in your life where we're kind of just blown away, where we know that it's not us. It's the other side coming through and working in our lives. So I'm going to have you take it away and share your first story.
Thank you. Okay. So my first story actually is tied into my book, Don't Just Sit There, Do Nothing. A friend of mine several years ago took his life. And this was a special friend because I was born in the Soviet Union, as was he, and our families had immigrated together. And we went through a lot of the same kind of struggles where we didn't quite fit into this other world, this new society for us, which was America. And there was a lot of pressure to succeed because, our families left everything behind for us to have this shot in America. But both of us struggled. We were both different. We both, I guess, did not fit into mainstream society, which is something Julie and I spoke of in the last episode. And while I was able to find my way, while I was able to get the right help, get the right resources, find the right spiritual teachings, and eventually find a great partner for life. And my life took a turn where everything flowed more naturally and happiness became my reality. For him, life unfortunately did not take that same turn. And I think he continued to struggle up until he decided to, he died by suicide. And a chapter in my book is called Not of This World. And it speaks about in Don't Just Sit There, Do Nothing. I use a lot of my own stories to kind of show the teachings, portray the teachings, these Eastern teachings of the Tao, and of how I myself learned to ease into life and ease into joy and ease into inner peace. And so this chapter called Not of This World speaks of my experience of losing this friend and how it was such a intense understanding that could have been me, that there was I standing at his funeral and there was he in the box that could have, under different circumstances, been very much me, because we had such similar experiences through life, such similar experiences with immigration and with losing our identity. And I was able to rediscover, I should say, mine, and he wasn't, and not of this world was he, he did not fit into this world and he decided to leave it. So this chapter was dedicated to him, was about him, and it was also dedicated to everyone else struggling. And it was my call for choosing to stay here.
Yeah.
As I was recording the audiobook of Don't Just Sit There, Do Nothing. And I was in the studio in this tiny little booth, and I felt so tired, and I still had to get home and, make dinner for the kids. And I had to commute into New York City. I live in the suburbs in order to record this. And I just thought, how the hell am I going to get through the rest of this? It just felt like so down, so done. And I was going to see if maybe we can reschedule some of it another time, whatever. But here I am reading this chapter, Not of This World, and thinking of my friend who took his life. And what happened was ridiculous, only to me probably. But all of a sudden, I started speaking the chapter in his voice. Like he had a cadence, he had a certain pronunciation of words. And all of a sudden, it came through. It did not, there's ways you say your words. You all know how you say your words. All of a sudden, I hear him, and the way I'm pronouncing the words are his pronunciation. And I was like, holy shit, because I knew that he was there with me. And I got the biggest burst of energy that not only carried me through the rest of the day, it carried me through the week. And it was such a high. And Julie, if I tell you, I did not share this with anyone. I have not shared this with anyone but you and your listeners, because it was such a personal experience. And I did not want to share this with anyone who would not believe the power that I felt. And this is the safe community in which I feel like everyone will understand what I'm talking about. And so my friend came through for me and told his story with me. Wow. And gave me energy to carry me through the rest of it.
Wow. So what I'm hearing right now is, what wisdoms, reasons, purpose did you give readers in your book of like why to stay here? What did you learn through his passing? And what would you speak to those who don't feel a lot of hope right now?
What I say in the book, and what I'll say again, is keep moving. If you can just find the ounce of strength to keep going, which ironically he gave me from the other side in that moment. But if you can just find the strength to keep going, I promise you there is light on the other side of the darkness, or as the Tao says, just a dance of shadows. But the lighter days are coming if you keep moving. I can't promise you when. I promise you they are. I know this from my experience, from watching other people. You keep going. And then on the other side, you will understand what the darkness was for. There will be a purpose, and you will live a life of happiness you cannot yet imagine if you keep moving forward.
Wow. That's so powerful. The other thing that keeps coming to me to have you share is, when you were writing, was it actually while you were writing that chapter that he came through with that message of keep going?
That is such a good question, because I haven't thought of it, and probably yes. Yeah. Probably because I wrote it in the midst of my grief, in the midst of my experience. And as I was writing it, I felt the healing. As I was writing it, I say that what he gave us all was a burst of light. So as we said goodbye to him, he left us with light. And I said, I took that light home to my girls, and I wrapped it around myself. And as I wrote it, I felt that.
Yeah. I was asking that because, I'll ask another kind of question. When you were writing, did you feel like a lot came through in the moment as you were writing? Like maybe you didn't know exactly where you're going, but like inspiration come through, like as you're sitting and writing, and maybe took you in a different direction?
Yeah, that's how I wrote most of this book. I would sometimes take a few minutes to meditate before getting into the chapter. I knew what chapter I was going to write, but my writing often surprises me.
Well, and I wanted people to hear this, because there's a lot of people who listen to the podcast who want to write books, and they think that they need to have it all planned out and like know it before they sit down and write it. That's not how it works. That's not how it worked for me. I had like the chapters that I wanted to write and the topics, and then I'd go into the chapter and I had topics that I wanted to talk about in the chapter. But then I'd sit down, and what happened was just spirit came through, the angels came through, loved ones came through, and were whispering just as if I was in one of my sessions as I was writing. And so I've never gotten to talk about this with another author before, but I thought that we could share that message with everybody who wants to write a book, because your friend on the other side said it's not just keep going, but those who want to write books, just get started. Like, just sit down and start writing.
Just get started. What a good point. Just get started. And I say that in the book, interestingly enough, I say that as well. Just take the first step. A lot of people know this quote, but they don't know it comes from the Tao. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. That's actually a verse from the Tao Te Ching. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. And all we need to know is, can I just take this step right now? And sometimes we just need to do it even if we feel not ready.
Yeah, 100%. Whose dad is on the other side? Is that his dad?
No, it's both my grandfathers are on the other side.
Okay. Because as I see him on the other side, there's this just overwhelming, like, fatherly energy that's right there for you, supporting you. And
it's my uncle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But you,
I just to say really quick, we all immigrated together, so he knew my uncle very well.
Oh, I was just gonna say, because I was like, but your uncle was in this other country first too, right? Because he keeps showing me, like, there's just some people that we connect with, and he was one of those people for you, even from a very young age. I want you to know that, remember how you were talking about those different lifetimes that we've lived, and you knew that early on? He played a very fatherly role in a lot of your lifetimes, and he's one of the main players on your spirit team. Does he have a daughter though?
He has a son and a wife.
Do you have a sister?
I have a mom. My mom is his sister.
Okay, because he's showing me the other, like, person.
Younger sister. She's his younger sister. Yeah,
it's the other person that he looks out for.
Oh, I'm glad, because they were close. Yeah, and they are close, rocky relationship, but
yeah. But he said there's a lot of love there.
Oh, that is so sweet. I might pass that on to her, and I might not.
That's okay. You're going to have to.
We talk. Not everyone's ready, right?
Totally. I forget. Did you have one more angel story?
The funniest story I will tell you is actually about my uncle and my friend, since they came through for you. When my friend first passed, I had a dream about him. And in my dream, he and my uncle were both in my dream. And I occasionally have a dream about my uncle. And I know that's him visiting me. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. Say it again. What you say?
I know. But I stole that from A Woman in the Secret, the movie The Secret.
Oh, I know. But I just know it. And recently, my beloved cat of many years passed away, and I actually got this cat when my uncle died, to cheer myself up and to cheer up my family. And I got this cat, and this cat passed away recently. And once in a while he visits me, and it's like, I could feel his fur. I'm like, he's visiting me. I know that in my dreams. But when my friend died, I had a dream within a couple of days of him and my uncle, both in my dream. And I thought, okay, they must be together. And the next morning, my aunt, the widow of my uncle, sent me a photo from us during immigration, but it wasn't me. It was during immigration, during our times in immigration. We had to go through several countries. It was of my friend who passed, and of my uncle, and of my cousin. And they were like in one picture, like literally the next morning. So confirmation.
That's amazing. And that's exactly what I was saying when I was asking about the fatherly figure, because he came and he stood right next to your friend.
Yes. I love that, because that came through for me, a couple of years ago.
That's amazing. Jessie, the one message that I can really feel coming through from them, and I'm saying this entrepreneur to entrepreneur and, author to author, is that I feel like we don't often talk about how heavy it is to keep carrying all of the things that we create. And what they're saying is you're doing beautifully, but don't get down. When it gets heavy, keep going, because they said you're in it for the long haul. Like I feel like when I interact with some people, you can feel it. Like they're only in this for like 10 years and then they want to retire out. And then there's some of us who are like, no, like my soul came here to live this, and maybe I'll do it part-time at some point, but I'll still be in it. And that's your energy. And so they just encourage you to see all of the good that you're doing and not feel the weight of it. I feel like what I was saying before, or maybe in the last episode, the weight can come from that perfectionism of just wanting to serve people the best that you can and give 100%. But they're like, it's okay to take that time for you too. And they love you so much. They'll always be a part of your team.
Oh, thank you. That means so much to me. I'm gonna cry, but it's so funny. I came here to do the interview, but I got the gift.
Oh, you're so
Thank
sweet,
you.
Jessie. Friends for forever. Call me anytime or send me an email if you ever write another book, want to come on, or just chat.
I would love it, Julie. I would love to. I mean, you gave me, this was by far my favorite podcast interview to date, and I've done a lot of them.
Yay! Yay! I'm
Thank
so
you.
excited. Thank you for being here. Thank you to everybody for listening. We are looking for more angel stories. I promise I don't bite. So if you want to come on the show, email them to us. You can find that email over on the website. Submit that to us. It's theangelmedium.com. And we'll have you on the show to tell your stories. Also, before we go, just want to put it out there one more time. Over on Instagram, people are getting scammed all the time. There are a lot of just regular people, healers out there, authors, celebrities. And what's happening is, remember when email first got started, like in 2004, 2005, and we were all using it a lot? And you get those emails like, a king in a foreign country is going to give you $10,000, but you have to send him $2,000 first. Scam. Or somebody just passed away that you were a relative of, and they've left you this money, but you need to pay this in order to get it. Scam. So what they're doing now is on Instagram, it's this new scam that people are using to rob you of your money. So I just want you to be aware of it, where, they take people's profiles, they make a copycat impersonation of everything. They take my videos, they copy it onto their own thing that they have created, and they change one thing about my name. So it'll be like @angel.podcast, which is not my profile, or @angel12, Angel Podcast 12, which is not my profile. So what I want everybody to know is I'm never going to reach out to you on Instagram. If you ever want to work with me or my programs, you just come through my website, theangelmedium.com. If somebody reaches out to you, please know that it's an impersonating account. You would think that you could just report them and Instagram would take them down right away. The last time that this happened in the fall, and before that in the summer, and before that in the spring, it took 4 to 6 weeks for Instagram to actually pull them down. And as soon as they do, they create a new account with some weird little piece that's just slightly different from mine. So just don't get taken advantage of. My only Instagram account is @Angel Podcast. Nothing else in there, just @Angel Podcast. And again, if somebody reaches out to you, it's not me. Everybody, I love you. Spirit loves you. Open up your heart to all of the unexpected blessings, miracles, and angel stories that Spirit is working to bring into your life right here today. Okay, I want you to look for it right here today. Bye, everybody. Beautiful souls, I just want us to take a moment and pray together. I want you to start by taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And I just want you to feel your crown chakra opening at the top of your head. I want you to feel God's loving oneness energy pouring like a waterfall of love into your entire body, surrounding your auric field, filling every molecule of space within you, surrounding you. And I want you to feel that you are so filled to the brim with oneness energy that it begins to radiate out like the rays of energy that radiate out from the sun. And friends, what I want to do this month is every time you come to the podcast, I want us just to pray together. The reason we pray, we have shown it scientifically, it does make a difference. When you pray, they have shown scientifically that it does something within another person's energy field. That person might not know that they are being prayed for, but something is happening energetically. So let's just come together today and pray. There's a lot happening in the world right now, and this is not about letting fear consume you. This is about taking your energy and directing it the way you want it to go. And so we're going to use our intention today. We're going to use the love that God has just poured into us today to radiate that love out, radiate our intent, prayers, ask God to surround angels with the people on earth who need it. And in particular today, we're going to ask that God surround with angels the people of Ukraine, to provide the people of Ukraine with angels that give them strength, that give them hope, that give them divine wisdom. Friends, this isn't a political thing whatsoever. This is a human thing. This is a collective consciousness thing. And what we're doing today is bringing more love into this world. So I want you to just take a moment to pray with me. Dear God, universe source, we know that there are babies that should be in a NICU right now, special needs children who should be in an ICU hospital right now, who are not able to because of the conflict that is happening in Ukraine. And God, we ask you to protect those children, to heal those children, to surround those children with the angels that they need to give them everything to become fully 110% healthy. God, universe source, we pray for the mothers who are pregnant right now, who are fear-filled of how they're going to give birth, where they're going to give birth. We ask you to put their hearts, their minds at ease and create a safe place for them to bear children into this world. God, we pray for the displaced families, the children who are unsure of what's going on, who have fear in their hearts. We pray for those children to be surrounded by angels of comfort, angels of love who fill them up so that they know they're not alone and they feel a semblance of safety, of security. We also pray for those displaced families, those who are left behind, those who are still fighting. God, we ask you to give them courage. We ask you to give them strength. We ask you to fill them with every single thing that it is that they need to get through this time in their life. God, universe source, we ask you to provide everyone in Ukraine with angels to surround them. God, universe source, we also pray for those who have lost somebody in this conflict. that you help bring healing to the hearts of those who are left behind. And friends, I just want you to take a moment to add in your own prayer right here, right now. Friends, your angels ask you to hold a vision of future Earth, and that is one filled with peace, with love, where there is all peace on earth. And if your egoic mind comes in, gets in the way and says, "That's not possible, Julie," it is. We all have to hold that vision within our minds right now. So start by holding it within yours, by seeing all of earth as peace-filled, as loving towards one another. Your angels say that now more than ever, it's so important for you to do your own work on yourself. Because when you're spiritually healthy individually, it leads to us being spiritually healthy as a collective. So doing the work on yourself individually lends itself to peace within all. When you have peace within you, we can have peace within the collective. So friends, please know that your angels do not want you to be fear-filled. They want you to, anytime your egoic mind brings in fear, use your intention. Use your ability to pray. There is no wrong way to pray for people you care about, even if you don't know them. Use this opportunity to look at your own life and the lessons that God, universe, source, your angels are trying to bring into you right now on how to bring more peace into your life. So that as you create a more peace-filled world for yourself, we can come into a more peace-filled collective as a whole. Friends, I want you to see one more time peace on earth, peace within yourself, peace within your own life. I want you to send that energy that you are filled with, that oneness energy, out to the world, out to the people of Ukraine, out to everyone on this planet who needs it. Remember, it's not coming from you. It's coming through you from God, universe, source. If you allow it to, that oneness energy is an unlimited source that will flow through you to everybody who needs it here on earth. Friends, thank you for coming together. Thank you for praying with me. Thank you for sending love out into the universe. Every single time your egoic mind tries to bring you back into a fear state, I just want you to stop for 30 seconds, call in your angels, and just pray. Just feel that oneness automatically radiating within your body and just send it out into the world to those who need it. Friends, I love you. Spirit loves you. Your angels, your loved ones on the other side, they are looking out for you. They're with you right here, right now. Open up your heart to miracles, to blessings, to this vision of peace filling this world. Bye, friends.